All right, Randall Hughes with GodGlorified.com, and we're commenting on our reading for January the 25th from Genesis 37 to 39. 36 was consumed in our basic reading as we talked about Esau periodically. There was things pulled in earlier in the Reese Chronological Bible, is why we did not have that here at this time. And so, the last few days have been some sordid reading with some scandal and sinful activity and things. It's some of the lesser compelling readings, other than Joseph had dreams, and I think it's so important for all of us to have dreams. And now these were given by God, and I think it's important for us to seek to have dreams given by God. And if you do not have a dream that you feel that God gave you or has put something on your heart to accomplish for Him and for His kingdom, then I would suggest that you ask Him what He has in plan in mind for you, and then seek to accomplish whatever He puts on your heart as you seek Him, as you pray and ask for Him to direct you. I believe that God gives us all talents, and it's how you use those for Him is how He develops them. And I don't know how greatly talented anyone may think I am or am not. It doesn't really matter. I felt at a young age that I enjoyed music, and I began to, as a child, I began every day. I think I shared this back at some point. I've shared it somewhere. Whether it was in this venue or not, I can't recall. But when I was a child, I used to wake up every morning singing. I would get up and sit in a rocking chair and sing every hymn I knew in the book and every chorus that we sang at church. And I did that for several years as a child. And then I think I even did it after I started to school. I can't tell you just at what point I outgrew that, but I remember doing that for seems like 2 or 3 years. I was about 4 when we first started going to the church that I now am assistant pastor of, and at any rate, have a dream. I've been blessed to give that back, and as you give back what God's given to you, He then multiplies. I think that there's some things that I'm doing now that I am doing because of what He gave me and how I've used it and tried to be a good steward. Not saying I've been perfect. I certainly have my faults and am striving to get better and to be better at everything that I do. But we must press on. We ask for forgiveness and strive to do better. And so that we can't change our past. It doesn't matter who you are or how proud or ashamed you may be. You can't change it. And so each day is a new day, and you can make that a day you can be proud of. Make today a day you can be proud of. Start it with God. Start it in His Word. Start it in prayer. Ask for His direction and His Spirit to lead. And so we find Joseph here, and it's interesting to see his dreams. And I'll just tell you, if you're a dreamer, and I'm not meaning that in the sense of the immigration or in any way, shape, or form, don't read more into what I'm trying to say. But if you're a dreamer, there'll be somebody that will be let's see what happens to his dreams. There'll be somebody to try to kill your dream. And so it'll be up to you to believe in your dream, to believe in yourself, to believe in what God has made you to be and what He can make you to be. And so I suppose I was in 6th or 7th grade when I started singing at school in choir. 7th grade, I know I started band and began playing the saxophone. And whether you think I'm awful at any of it, it doesn't matter. I gave it back. I tried to get better. I tried to develop those things, and I feel like God helped me. And when I went to ABI, I was blessed to get to travel with the chorale 2 of the 3 years, and with quartets 2 of the 3 summers. And so very blessed and just immensely blessed. And God was so good to me and grant me that opportunity. Got to sing in over 100 churches across 25 states during that time. And just a privilege that God's blessings. And it all started because I tried to give back what he had given to me. And there were times that it was slow. Times it didn't happen quite as fast as I thought it should have. And there's been times that I've been sitting on the sideline thinking, I should be the one singing that solo. I should be the one doing this or that. And you know what? You have to just say, God, you are in charge. I'll never forget, Brother Whalen was on the district board for several years. Brother Whalen was my pastor for about half of my life. And he would tell of men that would come before the district board and say, you're keeping me from doing the will of God. God's wanting me to do this, and you, the district board, you're keeping me from doing the will of God. And Brother Whalen said, you don't understand. I'm not big enough. If it's God's will, it will happen. And so God knows how to make it happen. You have to have that desire to hang on and hold on to that dream. And it's what's amazing here. And I don't know, I believe just like we read a few chapters back with Abimelech and how God kept him because God knew the integrity of his heart. God had a plan for him and he kept him from sinning with Sarah. It's an amazing chapter there for me. And then here we're talking about Joseph and him going into Egypt, and far rather talk about him than his brother Judah and his sons and Onan, and then the offspring that happened there with Tamar. I don't understand all that custom of the brother raising up seed to the brother raising up seed to his brother. I don't understand that. But it seems to have been a custom, certainly here in the Middle East there in that time. And God was not pleased with the things that took place in much of this story. And it's important for you to know that, just as I said in yesterday's story, there's a lot of things that are reported that are truth, but it's not men living the way God wanted them to live. And we may not always see the judgment that they received for the way they lived, but just know that God will judge. And so have a dream, hold on to it, believe God has a purpose for you and a plan for your life, and then seek to fulfill that. Seek to pass that on to your children in some way, shape, or form, that whether it's just the knowledge of who he is and a relationship with him and the truth, whatever you can do to pass on to them. I've told my boys at different times, I want their floor to be my ceiling. I don't know what they're going to be. I don't know all the dreams they have. They've not shared everything with me, and I'm not pushed them probably maybe even enough as I should. I don't know. I could do better. I'm just a human being striving to do my best, and yet I've told them that whether you do anything that your dad did, and there's some things I think they try to avoid because I was involved in music. Mom was involved in music. I don't know. They've done a little more, but Leighton played the guitar, Lincoln playing the drums and singing, and both of them I think have excellent voices. But it has to be their dream. They can't just do it because mom and dad said it. At some point it has to be in their heart to say, I want to give this back to God. I think God has given me some talent and I want to give it back. It has to. I can't do it for them. And so anyway, Joseph is such a great story, and I am thankful for, and God's 34% of the book of Genesis, it deals with the story of Joseph. And so it's kind of amazing, but it's the integrity that he had, that in the face of opposition, he could have easily caved. Here, I'm in Egypt. This woman's wanting to be immoral, but who cares? Here I am, just a slave. Why should I care? But notice he said, I cannot do this sin against my God or my master. And so somewhere God give us the gumption to say, I want to please you and I want to do what's right by my fellow man. God help that to be instilled deep in our fiber of our being, to do what is right. Always do what's right, to strive in every situation. And it will be benefited in the end because of his response, his holding on to integrity in spite of the challenges and circumstances and situations. God favored him and blessed him, and it didn't matter if he was in the pit or if he was in the prison, God was with him. Walk with God. Keep on his good side. Don't do things against his will. Seek to please him, and God will bless you. And that's what we see with Jacob. What a great thing. The way that God blessed him even when he was in the prison. And so we're in some great times in the next 10 chapters or so as we finish up the book of Genesis. I think it gets better from here. There's not quite the sordid details that we see about the depravity of man. And so anyway, I just challenge you to dream dreams for God. What can I do for God's kingdom? How can I bless his kingdom? What I'm doing right now is because I want to bless his kingdom. It does a couple of things. It challenges me to say, I'm going to read the Bible through again this year. And it provides an opportunity for those that may need this avenue to hear it. And I challenge you to listen and try to grow through the things that we read in his word. So God bless you. Have a great day in Jesus' name.